we're towards the end of June, and I'm sure you guys are all out of college by now, or if you're out of high school and you're about to enter college, or currently out of that, and you just have time to, relax, chill, go outside, enjoy the weather. If you're currently taking summer classes, my prayers to you. I took 2 summer classes already, 2 years ago, that is, and it is one of the most stressful things you can do. If you don't have to take a class over your summer, I really don't recommend it. It's just the curriculum is the same length as it would be for a normal semester, but it's just ramped up so fast that you really have to want that A. But you guys have time off now. If you didn't get an internship or you are just lying around, I want to teach you guys a few things that you should not be doing with your summer. I know you have a lot of free time, but that doesn't mean you should just lay around and let it all go to waste. If there's a few things that I would suggest you not to do, it's in order to prevent you from either hurting your future or just not making any strides towards it. First thing, do not get a job that is super labor intensive and work over 40 or 50 hours a week. I know the hours might be great, you might have to wake up early, but you end off at like 2 or 3 p.m. But over time, your body is not going to be able to really hold up for majority of men. If you've been lifting for years, maybe you were a captain of the football team, then I don't think this necessarily has to apply to you. But if you work these super long and intensive hours at this job, the rewards aren't gonna outweigh the later cons. You are going to have back problems, most likely. You might have a injury. You might be climbing a ladder and you fall down and you break your leg or something, and now you can't work at all. You're stuck inside for the whole summer and you're just not going to be mentally in the right state of mind. If you do have to do some sort of construction work, try to make sure it's not super intensive to your body. They are more tedious jobs that you can do, and just try to stay off of roofs, if I'm being completely honest. But if you have to work it, I guess just be as careful as possible. You definitely don't want to hurt yourself in this line of work. A lot of times you are not insured, and I just can't imagine what you're going to do now when you're not making money and you're physically unable to walk without any sort of assistance. Definitely not worth it. And just because you don't get injured now doesn't mean you won't be hindered in the future. A lot of these guys have back problems, have to get shoulder surgeries, and that's very pricey and takes a mental toll on your body. And if you can avoid that, it's definitely worth it. There's other jobs that are way more competitive in terms of pay and are a lot easier on your body. I would suggest doing a call center job that you can work remote. That way you can do whatever you want until you actually have a phone call. Kind of just answer that as accordingly. And then when you're done, you can go back to do whatever you're doing. The second thing, I need you guys to drink a lot of water. I've seen so many guys just drink sodas over summer. They think since it's hot outside, they can have all these high sugary beverages or certain non-healthy shakes. And I just don't understand why. The whole winter, you weren't having any desire to do that, but now just because it's hotter outside, you want to drink beverages that you know are not good for you. It is more important now that you're having your gallon of water a day because of how hot it is and how quickly your body can get dehydrated. Dehydration was going to prevent you from having clear skin, thinking clearly, and just being as productive as you can be. I know it sucks that you might have to pee a lot and you might have to use the bathroom maybe 20 times a day if you're drinking a gallon of water, but I think it's worth it, and it's just a good way to flush out any toxins in your body. And you just have to fall in love with drinking water. If you want, there are certain things you can add to your water to make it more flavorful. You can dice up fruit, or you can put in vegetables. I really like cucumber water, that tastes good. Or you could simply just put lemon or lime. It adds a little bit of acidicness to the water, and it just makes it way easier to get down. And ideally, you want to finish your gallon of water before 7 p.m. This is something I found out recently. So this allows it to kind of digest better, and you aren't having to pee in the middle of the night. That's one of the worst things that happens when you drink a lot of water is around 2 or 3 a.m. You're just gonna have to wake up from your slumber and then use the restroom, and then you turn on the light, and then it just kind of messes up your sleep schedule, and by now you have to go back to bed. and then you have to try to go back to bed, which is always another hassle. So it might result in you waking up later, and it's just something you should avoid whenever you can. Another thing, stop going to bed so late. A lot of you guys love to go out every single night during the summer. I know it's the, oh, we are outside movement, but you gotta have a bedtime, bro. At some point, you have to call it a night and just not wake up past like 9 a.m. Waking up past 9 a.m. is pretty unacceptable. I don't know how you're productive. There's no way you can get the most out of the day if you wake up so late. And the thing is, when you wake up later, the hours just go by so much faster. So before you know it, it'll be 12 p.m. and you really haven't even gotten anything done. Yeah, you might have brushed your teeth and like ate breakfast, but you're a whole workout behind. You know, the gym is more crowded. You have to wait longer on the machines. So it's just not a good habit to have. The earlier you wake up, the more productive you can be. You have less distractions. That's the biggest thing. Nobody's posting on social medias this early. None of your friends are asking you to hang out. Your parents aren't asking you to run and do tasks. It's just not ideal to wake up any later than you really have to. Don't get me wrong, if there is a night where you do go out and you need that extra hour of sleep, definitely take it, because trying to run off under 6 hours of sleep, maybe even 5, it's borderline impossible to be productive. You just feel tired the whole day, and it would have been more beneficial for you to just take that extra hour and sleep in. So if that's the college you have to weigh in, definitely take that extra hour. But in general, just go to bed earlier. Stop sleeping with your phone in your room. It is so distracting, and there's just the thing about the beauty about your phone is you can get access to any sort of information that you want. But as a result, if it's right next to us, we're going to constantly be on it. We're going to look up things on YouTube, on Google, on Instagram, whatever, and then you're just not going to bed on time. You're just spending extra hours swiping when you need to really relax and wind down your body in order to get the best night's sleep. So what I recommend is put it in the room next to you. Have your alarm on so you can hear it once it goes off in the morning. Don't put it too far away, because if you put your alarm on, you might wake up someone else in your family and not really you, and they're going to definitely yell at you at that. I've been there before. Do not do that. Just keep it off. Put your phone in there right after you brush your teeth. So you might have to spend an hour in your bed kind of just thinking or just looking around and trying to get in some sort of stage of sleep. So if that's what you have to do, it's really worth it. And sometimes you might even get a great idea at nighttime to think about a future business idea, a future plan you want to do with your friends. It just gives you time to just have some clarity and think about life. And I feel like as guys, we are always trying to do something. We always spend our time either exercising, being productive, and then we don't have a lot of time to just sit and think. And this is a perfect time to do that. You know, you're going to think about some stuff, and then eventually your body will wind down into a state where you can just fall asleep. And there's nothing better than that. I get the best sleep when I have at least an hour off my phone or any sort of electronic devices before I go to bed. Promise you should try it out. Similar results are guaranteed. The next thing, do not be too shy to meet new people. Just because school is over for you college kids or you high school kids does not mean you should not be interacting with people your age or just people in general. Take that time to go out in public and just walk around and see who you stumble across. See if you can meet somebody who has a similar interest in you, someone that's the same sports fan as you. They might be wearing a basketball jersey that you like, and it's the same team that you root for. Try to make new friends, try to make new connections, because once you leave the school world, that socialization aspect is going to be a lot different. And I feel really bad for the kids that didn't go to college, because they have to jump into that state of socialization a lot quicker than someone in college has. And the thing about college, it can kind of warm you up for that, and it makes it a lot easier because you have so many years to practice. But going straight from high school to either a corporate job or a non-college role in life, it just makes it harder to meet people and talk to people. You have to go out of your way, and the other person might not even be the same age as you, might not have the same interest in you, but it's a risk you have to take, and it just brings you into more of maturity, and it just allows you to really work on your social skills and understand what the next level of playing field is going to somewhat look like. You're not always going to be in a room with people your age, your race, your way of thinking. So it's important you get to understand how the rest of the world thinks and what other members of society are doing on a daily basis.